It was a rude awakening for students, members of staff and residents of Government Science College, Kagara in Niger State as they make frantic efforts at getting away as far as possible. At about 2 a.m., an armed group of people, clad in military fatigue, invaded the hostels and residents, breaking down doors, kidnapping anyone in sight. The school principal, who also escaped from the gunmen, gave his account.
So when they forced the door to open, before I know, before I even come, they now forced into my bedroom and arrested me. There and then they now called me, bring me outside, that we should go to hostel direct. So they put me in front to the hostel, student hostel. So reaching there, they started arresting the students. When the students discovered that they are thieves, because when they went there, they were telling the students not to run. It is soldier. More confirmly, I saw the person that came to my house in a flag soldier uniform. The other one with uniform of Nigerian army. The two of them. The other one wear black coat. There are 3 numbers that came here. So when after when we were there, they gathered most of the students. While some of the students started running into the bush. The little one they caught, which I cannot ascertain the number. We were there standing outside, gather us together and start touching us two. So when they started touching us two, there and then my family have already been arrested.
Some of the students who luckily escaped from the attack are not happy at the slow response of security agencies.
The bandits came in and they attacked the first 2 houses by the wall, which is Lafayette House and Already House. They entered into the house and they surrounded the house. They started chasing students out in the hostel and they followed them and they were also shooting to the point that they killed one person. They shot him in the head and they packed some people from the hostel and kidnapped them. They are still nowhere to be found till now.
Seriously, let government take action of this issue because all the education has turned upside down. We students now, we are not happy with what just happened.
School authorities are yet to ascertain the number of students abducted as they are still taking stock and to be sure that only 1 student was killed.
Our correspondent, Emperor Simon, who's been following the story since it broke at 2 a.m., joins us now for an update. Emperor, what more can you tell us about what's happening now? We understand that some of the students are being moved out.
Yeah, thank you, Olumide. Just as you saw in that video, many of the students are vacating the school because it's no longer safe for them to stay in the school. And teachers also are leaving because the school, like I said, is not safe. Now, from what we've gathered, the state government has drafted, has asked that the security agencies in the state draft their men to that area, and that's what is happening right now. We have the police, the military, members of the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps heading to that place. It's a joint effort at the moment to see how Kagara entirely, not just Kagara Science College, that peace is restored to the area. So that's what is happening right now. Also, Governor Abubakar Bello is meeting with the heads of security chiefs, the heads of security agencies in the state, where there is receiving report, of course, on the attack, and also discussing on the way out. But he has condemned, from what we've gathered, he has condemned that attack and assuring that the students and the teachers who are currently in abduction will be released.
Thank you, Emperor Simon. We anticipate a more official word from the state government on this issue, and we can only sympathize with the parents and the guardians of the students at this school. Thank you, Emperor Simon, reporting from Niger State. For more perspective on this Kagara school abduction, we're now being joined on News Track by global security analyst Dixon Osaje. Hello, Mr. Osaje.
Thank you, Olumide. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, given this latest incident, it just shines a light on insecurity in certain parts of the country. What's your assessment of this development? The frequency and the patterns is quite alarming, isn't it?
Very, very alarming, Olumide, and it's a very, very worrisome situation. This tells you that we are not a country that are ready to learn from our previous mistakes. Some few months ago, Ankara incident took place. Over 300 students were abducted. And I thought that every state governor would have learned from that incident and ensure they carry out a vulnerability and risk assessment of all our secondary schools in order to project any threat that might pose, anything that might pose threat to these children. Now, our children have been cut away. The governor is trying to apply what we call a responsive mechanism. Responsive mechanism will never. We need to look into crime mapping, look into those crime-prone areas where we perceive our students might be vulnerable to attacks like this. Because we are looking at security in a discussion mechanism. We need to look into this as a what situation. We can't continue to be in the limelight of this negative incident. I would advise all our governors to look into our secondary schools beginning from today, carry out a vulnerability analysis of our secondary school. Are these children prone to attack? Are they prone to threat? Whatever the case may be, mitigation factors should come to play. Not when an incident like this happens, you start carrying out a responsive mechanism. This is really unacceptable. Very, very unacceptable.
Our reporter spoke to the issue that there was some intelligence just before the incident occurred that possibly schools will be targeted, and he reported that less than 2 hours after that intelligence was reported, it happened at Kagara Government and Science Secondary School. What is your opinion or view concerning synergy between the security agencies as far as intelligence sharing and acting on that intelligence is concerned?
You know, when we talk about intelligence sharing, intelligence might come in various forms. It might be imagery intelligence, it might be signal intelligence, it might be communication intelligence. But this is the intelligence this guy received was communication intelligence. What I had expected the people that received this intelligence to have done was to respond with speed and alacrity. Don't gamble on intelligence. Any intelligence received must be responded to with an immediate alacrity. But in this case, for example, we got this intelligence and everybody relaxed. But moving forward, I would expect that they should carry out a kind of crime mapping in our secondary school. Look at the areas that are prone to attack. Our security agency must be proactive, not responsive. The era we are now is not an era whereby we adopt a responsive security mechanism. We need to be proactive. We need to carry out a surveillance patrol on all these crime-prone areas. What is it going to cost state governors to purchase surveillance helicopters? We have individuals in this country that have private jets. We have people who have private jets. What is the cost of surveillance helicopter? We need more of surveillance helicopter at this time to patrol and carry out a surveillance analysis of all the crime-prone areas within the confines of trespassing. So if we carry out an effective surveillance patrol within this area, synergize with the security agencies, it's going to help a lot, because if we continue to go on this limelight, I'm going to tell you in the next 6 9 years, Nigeria will be the most dangerous place to live in the world. This is not a good thing for us, Olumide. It's very, very unacceptable. Very unacceptable.
Thank you, Dixon. Proactiveness as opposed to reactiveness or reactivity. That is your message. Thank you for your opinion on this issue.
Thanks, Olumide.